Results will be available via the meet mobile application. Any questions, stop by the meet sheet table. Concessions will be available during today's meet. If you want to check out the variety of snacks and drinks, be ready to join us.
Good afternoon, everybody, from the Helen P. Brown Natatorium at Fort Wayne Southside High School. Welcome to the 2017 Boys Sectional Swim and Dive Finals. Jim Measle here along with Jim Kressel. We're bringing this on a live stream here on SummitCitySports.com. We'll be getting the swimming competition underway in about another 14 minutes or so. We have a lot of pre-meet activities coming up. As we've already had activities here this morning, Jim, as we've had the diving preliminaries. We've had 8 dives, and we'll have the last 3 dives for the divers later on following the 50 freestyle. But we look forward to hopefully another exciting sectional meet here, and everybody expecting Carroll and Homestead to battle again for the sectional title on this Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, we look for a fast race today, mostly between Carroll and Homestead in most races. Both schools qualified all 3 of their swimmers in each of the swimming events, and they will be at the top relays. Should be quick. Got the champions from a lot of previous races going today, and a few people that have changed events from year over year. But like Jim said, definitely Carroll and Homestead will be the class of this sectional with some good swims from Jacob Steele from Snyder as well.
Take a look at the records. They've all been set in this particular sectional over the last 2 years, many of them last year.
Yeah, last year we saw 9 records, including the diving records set, and the other 3 records were set in 2015. Some guys could be challenging their own record. Other guys are going to be chasing teammates' records today, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of these drop again this year.
The schools in this sectional are Carroll, Bishop Dwenger, Bishop Lours, Canterbury, along with Concordia, Northrop, Northside, Snyder, Southside, and Wayne, along with Homestead. Homestead, the defending sectional champions. They won last year by 24.5 points over Carroll. And the event order, the 200 medley relay, followed by the 200 freestyle, and the 200 individual medley, the 50 freestyle. Then we'll take a break from the swimming and have the diving competition. After the diving, we'll have the 100 butterfly, the 100 freestyle, the 500 freestyle, the 200 freestyle relay, the 100 backstroke, 100 breaststroke, and the 400 freestyle relay. As we'll be getting the parade of athletes underway here shortly. We have the Carroll contingent down here below us, and the Carroll fans to our left. We have the Snyder group right to our right. And the Carroll contingent, they're dressed up as robbers. They want to rob that title back, is what they're telling me earlier, after what happened last year with Homestead edging them out. There's Coach Gibson right here below us. He's been through a few of these sectional meets.
February is a long month for these swimming coaches. They start with girls sectional 2 weeks ago, girls state last week, boys sectional this weekend, and boys state next weekend. So a lot of these people, these coaches, they go home the 1st of March and reintroduce themselves to their spouses.
Once again, this afternoon's broadcast being brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260Sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Parkview Sports Medicine is a proud supporter of Fort Wayne area athletics and its athletes. Parkview Sports Medicine can provide the training, treatment, and education you need to advance your sports game. Have questions about injury prevention, sports nutrition, and more? We've got you covered. That's Parkview Sports Medicine at parkview.com. Sports Center Incorporated is Fort Wayne's premier sporting goods dealer, offering equipment rental, embroidery, and screen printing. Sports Center is ready and willing to help you place orders and or answer any questions concerning pricing. Sports Center Incorporated, located at 5511 Coventry Lane, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46804. Again, we're at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium at Southside High School. This facility built about 2 decades ago, and it gets a lot of use. We mentioned it Thursday night, Jim. It's almost a 24/7 facility here for swimmers in Fort Wayne.
Absolutely. They got everything from swim lessons to club practices to high school team practices. It's definitely a full-time job for more than just Liz. She's got staff that works under her that keeps this thing operational. A lot of stuff goes on here, weekends especially.
And again, I'd like to thank Liz Carewood, who is the natatorium director, as well as the meet director and her staff for all their help here this week as we bring you the boys swimming and diving sectionals at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium. The officials for today, once again, the head starter is David Sexton. Jill Brown is the assistant starter. The stroke and turn judge, Bob Dunlap. And we'll have the parade here shortly. They're getting lined up here to our right. And we're scheduled to get going here at 12:30 with the 200 medley relay. And a chance perhaps for the two contending schools, Homestead and Carroll, the two schools expected to battle it out for the sectional title, to deliver an opening punch to the other team.
They'll be swimming side by sides in lanes 3 and 4. Look for a lot faster times than you saw in the prelims. A lot of these top swimmers came out on Thursday night knowing they were going to qualify for the finals, and they came out in just a team suit. Today, most guys will be wearing championship suits, and these things they get you through the water a little bit quicker, and there'll be more of an effort from these guys. So I think these seated times that you see from the top swimmers, you're going to see a lot of time drop.
Last year, Homestead won the sectional title with 525.5 points. Carroll was second with 501, and Snyder was third with 348.5. And that's the way in 2016 at the state tournament, Carroll finished 5th ahead of Homestead. They were 8th, and Snyder was 11th. And now we're going to get the parade of athletes starting up right now. Carroll at the head, down here to our right, and they're introducing the judges as we speak. Actually, it's Bishop Dwenger. Okay, they were kind of hiding from us here. Bishop Dwenger, the first team introduced. Dwenger is coached by Sarah Keys, the dive coach Teresa Roberts, the assistant coaches Brandon Leffers, Denise Keene, and Sarah Rinaldi. Then we have Bishop Lures. Their coach is Tricia Kolb, dive coach Alex Book, and the assistant coach is Pam Lunsford. Canterbury next. Tamara Lombard is their head coach. The assistants are Barb Perlaven and Dave Stronzek. And next comes the Carroll Chargers. Veteran coach John Gibson, the Charger mentor. Dive coaches Becky McLean and Jonah Snyder. Tori Baggin is the assistant coach. Next up will be Concordia. The cadets with the boys coaches Dave Thomas, the girls coaches Bruce Graham, assistant coaches Sean Gibson and Danae Gibson. Following Concordia will be Homestead. Their head coach is Justin Max. The dive coach is Jill Eckwright. Assistant coaches Julie Anderson and Matt Ronachek. And Homestead is followed by Northside. Their girls swim coach is Tim Clay. Also Stuart Crockett Akins, and the boys coach is Perry Herzog. Following the Northside Legends, we have the Northrop Bruins. Their swim coach is Ben Kaywood. Assistant coaches Emily Hollenberg and Keaton Conley. The dive coach Olivia Turner. Northrop just going by us right now. And they are followed by Snyder. Their swim coach Stephanie Jameson. The dive coach Chris Giant. Assistant coach Jory Kosmalov. I'm messing up names, I'm sorry. Everybody happy at Snyder. Their basketball team won the Summit Conference Championship last night. They ran the table this year in the Summit. So congratulations to the Summit Panthers boys basketball team. Following Snyder, we have Southside. Courtney Smith, their swim coach, the dive coach, Andrew Festenmacher, and the assistant coach, Linda Narden. And up next will be Wayne, the Wayne Generals, the swim coach, Lindsay Racine. The dive coach is Haley Hunley. Tiny, small but mighty, aren't they, the Wayne Generals?
They might not have a lot of kids swimming tonight, but the kids they do have swimming worked hard to get themselves into position to be swimming in the sectional finals.
Look at that over there on the other side of the deck. That's quite a sight over there. And we'll have the national anthem shortly, and then we'll get the competition underway. And time now for our national anthem.
Take off your hats and respect the national anthem. Thank you. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last evening, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, it's swimming time in Fort Wayne.
Jim, as I look across the deck and see all the swimmers, I see Concordia over there in between Carroll and Homestead. That might be the only time all day you see much separation between those two schools.
Well, again, following the preliminary round on Thursday night, we had a whole bunch of Homestead and Carroll swimmers advance here to the finals. In fact, you were telling me, Jim, that they have 3 in each event.
Each school's allowed to put 3 swimmers into each event, and the top 16 move on to today. 9 through 16 will be swimming in the consolation finals, and 1 through 8 will be swimming in the championship finals. And yes, Carroll and Homestead have all 3 of the swimmers in each event in the championship final. Everybody you see swimming today will score points. The championship final, first place receives 20, second place 17, and it descends by 1 point until you get to 11 for the 8th place swimmer. Whoever finishes 9th receives 9 points. 10th place swimmer gets 7, and again it descends by 1 point until you get 1 point for the 16th place finisher. Relays are doubled, meaning 40, 34, 32, 30, etc. So relays are very important, and you'll see it right off the bat here with Carroll having done a little bit of a lineup change from who they swam Thursday night to get into this championship final. They've adjusted their lineup a little bit.
We will have 2 heats here. In the 200 medley relay, we'll have the B final first. That will involve Southside in lane 3, Wayne in lane 4, and Northside in lane 5. And then we'll have the A final, or the championship final, if you will, following that. Sectional record set last year, 132.74. State time to qualify, 137.77. Whoever wins, first place finishers, automatically move on to the state finals at the IUPUI Natatorium, a beautiful facility in Indianapolis. Again, as if you weren't with us on Thursday night, 25-yard pool. So for this particular race, the 200-yard medley relay, in which 4 strokes are employed, it's 8 lengths. And we're getting everything in place here. The butterflies must be flowing right now for all the competitors. We're watching the warm-ups earlier, Jim, and a lot of game faces, a lot of serious faces, not a whole lot of smiles among these competitors. It's time to go here.
A lot of these kids have been swimming against each other since elementary school. A little more competitive now. I mean, it was competitive then, but it's a little more competitive now when you're swimming for an IHSAA sectional title, both individually and for your school.
It's going to be an intense competition today between Carroll and Homestead, no doubt about it. It's a big Saturday for Carroll athletics. Not only do we have the swim sectionals going on here, but 5 of their wrestlers competing down to the state wrestling finals this weekend. Oh, we understand they all lost last night. Oh, darn it. Okay. But still, you get 5 to the state finals. That's pretty good. So we got the swimming sectionals going on today around the state. We've got the state wrestling finals in Indianapolis. We got girls basketball semi-states going on. It's just another typical Saturday for high school sports in the state of Indiana. Lots of stuff going on. All right, we're ready to go now for the B final in the 200-yard medley relay as the first swimmers go into the water. And we'll be quiet here as we're right above the starter. And we're underway.
Lane number 3, Southside swimmers.
Pretty even start. Again, this is the B final here. They're swimming for 9th place in the final standings. 8 lengths of the pool here. We start with the backstroke. And in lane 4, we have Wayne grabbing the lead. 2nd place in lane 5, that's North Side. With South Side here in lane 3 in 3rd. 2 down, 6 to go. The second leg underway. And this is the breaststroke. And it's still Wayne with the lead. North Side in lane 5. They're in 2nd. South Side in lane 3 is in 3rd. Each swimmer swims 50 yards or 2 lengths. And now here comes North Side gaining in lane 5. It's going to be almost even here between Wayne and North Side at the halfway point. They turn things over to the 3rd leg swimmers. And this is the breaststroke now. And we got North Side taking the lead in lane 5. And North Side with the lead, and they're building the lead here. A strong leg for the North Side Legends. And now we go to the final leg. It's the freestyle, and it's about a 2 body length lead for North Side. And they're extending that lead after trailing earlier. So it's North Side in 5. Wayne in 2nd place in lane 4. South Side 3rd place here in lane 3 as we're coming down to the end of the B final. When we get to the A final, we'll let the public address announcer introduce each swimmer. As North Side will finish 9th in this event, Wayne will finish 10th, and South Side will finish 11th. So we'll get the A final up here. And again, when we get to the A final, we'll let the
It's a little loud in here during championship.
You know what?
Finals,
We may just have to
hear the public address announcer.
We may just have to introduce them ourselves here, Jim. All right.
Look for Snyder to get out to an early lead on the backstroke portion. That's Jacob Steele swimming in lane 5 for Snyder. He's an IU recruit. As you see those red lines 15 meters into the pool, watch how close he comes when he emerges from the water to that point where he has to emerge from the water before being disqualified. Jacob will push that limit right to the limit.
Northrop is in lane 1. Bishop Lohr's in lane 2. Homestead in 3. Carroll's in 4. Snyder's in 5. Then we have Concordia in lane 6. Bishop Dwenger in 7. And on the outside in lane 8 is
Jackson Cornerman, Mr. Snyder.
That's Canterbury.
Canterbury. Okay. They fooled me again. Canterbury's in lane 8. Ready for the start. It's amazing how everybody gets quiet for the start after all the yelling and screaming.
You can see a lot of separation here with the backstrokers with Trev Cooley from Homestead in 3, Noah Yarian in 4, and Jacob Steele from Snyder in 5. This will definitely be a three-team race.
Snyder with the slight edge coming down to the end of the second lap. And it's Snyder and Carroll virtually neck and neck as we go now to the breaststroke. And Carroll edges ahead in lane 4.
That's Parker Bull taking the lead for Carroll.
And he's extending it. Bull building a big lead here. He's a
He'll hand it
senior.
off to Jackson Kent, the senior.
Oh, Carroll's got a huge lead now. Homestead now in second in lane 3. Homestead trying to pick up ground here in 3. As Chase Chastain picking up some ground.
The anchor legs are going to be swung by freshman Tristan DeWitt from Carroll and junior Riley Anderson for Homestead. I don't know if Riley's going to be able to reel him in.
He's trying. He's trying his darndest. Carroll still has the lead with 25 yards to go. The anchor for Carroll is Tristan DeWitt, and he looks like he's going to hold on to the lead. Strong finish though for Homestead. Riley Anderson tried his darndest, but Carroll gets the win.
Great split by Riley, a 20.51 to finish, but Tristan's 21.01 was enough. Carroll had a lead, big enough lead where that half second didn't matter. Carroll finishes in 133.3.
Homestead's time, 134.3. Third place goes to Snyder, and their time, 137.67.
All 3 schools swim under the state cut. Carroll automatically goes to the state finals by winning, but there is also a state cut of 137.77, which means if you swim under that, you are automatically invited to the state finals next week. And all Carroll, Homestead, and Snyder, all 3 will be representing their schools at next Friday night's state swim meet.
All right, next up will be the 200-yard freestyle, and we will have 2 heats coming up shortly. Cool down time now for the competitors, right?
The guys will cool down right now. You don't understand or realize how much a 50-yard race does to these guys. And right now they want to their muscles are on fire. So you want to kind of cool them down a little bit so we have no injuries. And following this, we will have the presentation of the awards.
Yeah, but they're 16, 17, 18 years old. They'll recover quickly, unlike old people like me. This afternoon's broadcast, once again, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Parkview Sports Medicine, a proud supporter of Fort Wayne area athletics and its athletes. Parkview Sports Medicine can provide the training, treatment, and education you need to advance your sports game. Have questions about injury prevention, sports nutrition, and more? We've got you covered. That's Parkview Sports Medicine at parkview.com. Go ahead, Jim.
I mentioned that state cut. What that is they take the last 3 seasons, so it would be the 14, 15, and 16 swim seasons, and they take the average 16th place finish at state, and that becomes your cut. Meaning anyone that swims below that, regardless of a sectional champ or not, they will head to state until they fill out a field of 32. If all 32 spots are not filled by the 20 sectional winners and people that win a state or swim a state cut, they will start grabbing the next fastest times around the state to fill the 32 team field for each individual event.
All right, 200-yard freestyle, sectional record set last year, 142.14. The state time, 142.97. In heat number 1, we have Charlie Burton from Lures in lane 1. Victor Banks from Northrop in 2. His teammate Sebastian Ringels in 3. Jacob McGauley from Concordia in 4. And then he has 2 teammates to his outside. Nathan Walsh in 5. Joshua Gagline in 6. In lane 7 from Dwenger is Joseph Straley. And in lane 8 from Snyder, Nolan McCurris. 200-yard freestyle. This is 8 lengths. Again, 25-yard pool. Once again, folks, Sports Center Incorporated is Fort Wayne's premier sporting goods dealer, offering equipment rental, embroidery, and screen printing. Sports Center is ready and willing to help you place orders and or answer any questions concerning pricing. Sports Center Incorporated is located at 5511 Coventry Lane, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46804. Jim Measle here along with Jim Kressel. Our cameraman is Nick Cox. Our producer, technical director, Gopher, Balin Height. And
Call your attention to the west end of the natatorium, where Tricia Koo of Bishop Lures will be handing out the awards for the 200-yard medley relay.
All right.
Place, Canterbury.
We're getting ready again for the 200-yard freestyle. This would be the B final.
In 6th place, Bishop Dwayne.
They're announcing the...
In 5th place, Bishop Lewis.
Okay, they're announcing the awards right now. I'm sorry, for the
4th place,
200-yard medley relay.
In 3rd place, for the state qualifying time of 1:37:46. In 2nd place, for the state qualifying time of 1:34:23. Homestead. And the 2017 boys 200-yard medley relay sectional champions, Noah Young, Arthur Rowan.
Well, you can't quite make 4 guys fit on that platform. So 3 teams advanced to states out of that particular race. Pictures time right now for the recipients of the ribbons in the 200-yard medley relay. Again, Carroll won the race. Homestead second, Snyder third, and all 3 of those teams qualify for the state finals of the IUPOI Natatorium. Carroll by winning the race, Homestead and Snyder with state qualifying times. Now we're ready for the 200-yard freestyle relay. I'm sorry, the 200-yard freestyle. Interesting, we got 3 guys from one school in 4, 5, and 6. But every man for himself as the B final gets underway. Lane 4, Jacob McGauley with the early lead from Concordia. Looks like in lane 5, Nathan Walsh is in second place. A couple of swimmers on the outside over there on the far side battling for third right now. That's Joseph Straley in lane 7 from Dwenger and Nolan McCarris from Snyder in lane 8. But it's McCauley with the lead. Jacob McCauley, he's a freshman. We remarked about all the great performances by freshman swimmers on Thursday night. Back when I was in school, freshmen knew their place. Not anymore. They got lots of freshmen competing at the varsity level these days in high school sports. Halfway through, Jacob McCauley in lane 4 still shows the way. His teammate Nathan Walls is in second in lane 5. Still a very tight battle for third, and now we got Sebastian Rengel from Northrop challenging for third place right now here in lane 3.
At second 50, Jacob actually extended his lead a little bit with his split about 1 second more than his teammate Nathan. So he's extending the lead a little bit. Let's see what these look like. Jacob went 31.76 in that third leg and 33.20 for for Nathan. So it looks like he's got this consolation final well in hand.
25 yards to go. McCauley is going to go wire to wire. He'll finish ninth in this event. Again, this is the B final, or the consolation final, if you will. McCauley will finish first in lane 4. And in lane 5, his teammate Nathan Walls will hang on to get second. And in lane 3, getting third place, will be Sebastian Rengel from Northrop. Oh, they got the right names up there on the board over there?
I don't think they did on that particular.
No, they don't. That's what threw me for a loop for a second. We'll have the A final coming up here shortly. And the time for McCauley was 1:59.35. Second place Walls, his time 2:04.49. And Rengel in third place, his time 2:06.95. So nobody with state qualifying times there. Now we go to the A final. And in lane 1 will be Alexander Bull from Snyder. Zach Ziska from Homestead in 2. Jack McCurdy from Carroll is in 3. Julian Norman from Homestead in 4. His teammate Noah Dalton is in 5. Kristen Siri from Carroll will be in 6. His teammate Matthew Wollum will be in lane 7. And Nicholas Torres from Snyder will be in lane 8. Norman has the fast seed time in this particular race, 1:45.49.
Sectional record in this event was set last year by Cameron Frank from Homestead at 1:42.14. And the state cut for the event is 1:42.97. So once again, the winner of the event and anyone that goes under 1:42.97 will be headed to Indianapolis next week.
Introductions being made right now. We're hoping to let the PA guy make the introductions, but it's a little noisy in here, so we're going to have to scratch that unless. All right, ready now for the final 200-yard freestyle. And away they go. Good start for everybody. And it's the two Homestead swimmers, Norman and Dalton, grabbing the early lead. And at the first turn, it looks like Julian Norman has the edge over his teammate Dalton. Coming down to the end of the second length. Julian Norman in first, Dalton in second. Now coming up to challenge in lane 3, that's Jack McCurdy from Carroll. It's still Norman with the lead in 4 by about a half second. It's neck and neck right now. Norman and Dalton at the halfway point. And it looks like now Dalton has grabbed a slight lead. Still very close between those two Homestead Spartans.
Noah did have a faster split there in his second 50. It looks like he's actually gaining more of a lead as we go into the 150 mark.
There'll be 50 yards to go after they touch. Noah Dalton with the lead in 5. Julian Norman not going away, though.
I think Julian's got a little left in the tank here. They flip at the same time. It's a 25-yard race for the sectional.
Two Homestead Spartans battling to the wire here. Watch it. Norman in 4, Dalton in 5, and I think it's Norman. It is. I don't think they got the right names up on the board over there again. It's, well, the program we have, Julian Norman's in 4, and he edged out Noah Dalton in lane 5. And in lane 3, Jack McCurdy from Carroll finishes in third.
Julian Norman with that swim of 141.48 sets a new sectional record. In fact, his teammate Noah Dalton also broke the record, but records can only be held by one, and that 400th of a second that Noah touched before, that Julian touched before Noah will be the record.
Yeah, Julian Norman won that race. Dalton finished second. And again, those are both state qualifying times. Macaulay's time, I don't think is Nope, 1:44.49. That's above the state time. So the two Homestead swimmers there, Norman and Dalton, move on now to the states. Norman by winning the race, Dalton with his second place time. And if I sound a little, do we have the right?
I think that's Thursday night's heats that they,
okay.
that they still have loaded up there. And it'd be
okay,
nice if they got it corrected.
But the times are correct, yes.
Times are correct, names aren't. So.
But the sheets we have, these are correct.
Absolutely.
All right.
Jack McCurdy with his time in that race will sit around and wait. Later tonight or possibly tomorrow, he's going to know whether or not he advances to state with that time. Just because he didn't swim the state qualifying time doesn't mean he is not going. But the other two, they can pack their bags. They're headed for Indy Friday.
All right, and next event will be the 200-yard individual medley. Have you had final results from the 200-yard medley relay yet there, Jim?
Yeah, Carroll won the race. Homestead second, Snyder third. They're making an announcement right now about the board, so hopefully they get that fixed and we can make it a little easier for us to explain to you what is going on.
I know this job is tough enough as it is. It doesn't help when there's no uniform numbers. All right, so again, Carroll with 40 points for winning the 200-yard medley relay. Homestead got 34 points. Carroll 30. Snyder with 32.
I call your attention to the awards in of the auditorium for Ben Cagle, Northrop High School will be handing out awards.
200-yard individual medley is coming up next as they present the awards now for the 200-yard freestyle.
And your boys, 2017 200-yard freestyle sectional champion with the new sectional record of 141.48 and
Julian Norman, big smile on his face here after that swim. Can't blame that young man. I mean, that smile's from ear to ear right now. And how about an update on the team score there, Jim, if you got it?
Yeah, through two events right now. It can't get much closer. We got Carroll in the lead with 85 points, Homestead with 84, Snyder in third with 58.
Excellent. So Julian Norman with an impressive swim here to win the 200-yard freestyle, perhaps throwing down the gauntlet for the afternoon. Here I am, fellas. Okay. Next event, 200-yard individual medley. Sam Hareen from Dwenger is in lane 1. Kevin Tarbett from Concordia is in 2. Luke Maskell from Dwenger is in 3. Bull Trowbridge from Snyder in 4. Ty White from Northrop is in 5. Bull Bierman from Concordia is in lane 6. Michael Fisher from Northrop is in 7. Sam Clay from Northside is in lane 8.
I do notice they do have the board correct, so as we're looking at times on the board, you'll be able to call names off there, Jim.
Probably a little computer issue there. Thought computers were going to make our lives easier at times. All right, 3 lengths down, 5 to go. 200-yard individual medley. This is the B final. And a big lead here in lane 4 for Bull Trowbridge from Snyder. At the halfway point, Trowbridge is all by himself here. Tight battle, though, for second. In lane 3 in second place right now is Luke Maskell from Dwenger. And really tight for third over there in lanes 5 and 6. That's White from Northrop in 5. Bierman from Concordia in 6. And they're neck and neck right now for third. But it's all Bull Trowbridge's race from Snyder in lane 4. And he's got 2 laps to go. The final leg, the freestyle. In second place still is Maskell in lane 3. Now in lane 5, White has opened up a gap for third place.
There's no doubt who's going to win this race and finish ninth. It's Bo Trowbridge. Now the question is he going to beat his time from Thursday night, which is exactly what he's got to be shooting for right now. His time Thursday was 2:15.04, and he's going to smash that. He's got to feel real good about that swim.
Trowbridge wins it, going away. And quite a battle here now for second, as Maskell's trying to hold on. Charging hard is White in 5. But it looks like Maskell is going to hold on by half a body length for second. White will get third. And coming up for fourth place over there in lane 6 is Bull Bierman from Concordia. So now we'll have the A final coming up here for the 200-yard IM. That'll be followed by the 50 freestyle, and then we'll have the 1-meter diving competition. They had 8 rounds this morning, 3 more this afternoon. On a Saturday afternoon in Fort Wayne, in which we have near record warmth for this day. You can tell the Carroll student contingent is right next to us here. And the Snyder contingent is to our right, so.
Homestead might not sound like they're very loud. That's because they're about 25 yards from us, but I can tell you there's a big crowd down there cheering on the Spartan boys.
All right, now the A final. We have Wes Hembry from Homestead in 1. Timothy Cater from Carroll in 2. We'll give you the rest in a moment. And away they go. Jacob Steele from Snyder's in 3. Jackson Kent from Carroll in 4. His teammate Tristan DeWitt is in 5. Bryce Warner from Homestead in 6. Jacob Leffers, his teammate, is in 7. And Evan Croft from Concordia is in lane 8. Coming down to the end. Go ahead, Jim.
Jackson's the record holder in this. He set the record last year in the sectional, swimming 152.53. And guys are shooting for a 155.14 for state.
But right now, Jackson Kent with a slight lead. He's being challenged right now. In lane 6, hanging with him is Bryce Warner from Homestead. Coming down to the halfway mark of this race, and a very tight battle for first. Very tight. Looks like in lane 3, Jacob Steele has a slight lead. As they come up now for the breaststroke, it's Steele in 3, Kent in 4, and Warner in 6. They are within an eyelash of one another here. 3 lengths to go. This is a big turn. They pop up, and that was a big turn there for Kent in 4. Steele stays right with him. Warner's still there in 6. 50 yards to go as we go to the freestyle.
Still, this is when it's burdened, Jim. Who wants it? Who wants it more?
Anybody's race. Kent looks like maybe moving ahead just a smidgen. 25 yards to go. Watch this, folks. It's Kent.
I think Jackson Kent's going to get it.
He does. Wow, what a race. Steele gets second. Warner third. DeWitt in lane 5 fourth. Tremendous race involving Kent, Steele, and Warner. And it's Jackson Kent, who is Missouri bound, one of 2 seniors on the Carroll squad, a very young team. And Jackson Kent gets the win.
Jackson Kent breaks his own sectional record from 2017. So we've got 2 events, 2 records tonight.
151.48 for Kent. Steele's time 157.77.
We had 5 swimmers in that event swim the state cut time.
Nice.
This is one of the fastest sectionals, if not the fastest sectional in the state. It's unprecedented for 5 guys to swim a state cut in one sectional.
Warner at 153.04. And in 4th place, Tristan DeWitt, his time 154.18. 5th place, Timothy Cater from Carroll, 154.89.
I can tell you, Tim Cater finishes in 5th place in this 200 IM here. That time's going to be good enough to win half the sectionals in the state, and yet he's down on the 5th place block when it comes award time. Wow.
So Carroll wins that race. Snyder takes 2nd. Warner from Homestead takes 3rd. DeWitt gets points for his team, Carroll, in 4th place. And Cater also getting points for the Chargers in 5th place. So that's a good points race for Carroll right there.
Carroll gained 9 points in that race. 49 points for Carroll to 40 for Homestead. So they've opened up a 10-point lead headed into the 50 free.
We will have the award presentation now for the 200-yard individual medley before we have the 50-yard freestyle. So Jackson Kent, this is his last go-around as senior, with an impressive performance in the 200-yard IM. And the way this meet is starting, this is going to be a fun afternoon. We've already had records fall here in 2017. Now time for the 50 freestyle. In the B heat, we have Gerard Armstrong from Concordia in 1. Adam Veltman from Lourdes in 2. Deniro Brinker from Dwenger in 3. Nicholas Torres from Snyder in 4. Max Imler from Concordia in 5. Blake Berkmeyer from Lourdes in 6. Roberto Medina from Wayne is in 7. Adam Berkman from Northrop is in lane 8. 50-yard freestyle, up and back. Don't sneeze, you'll miss it. Good start for everybody.
Sectional record in this event was set last year by Ryan Housing, now swimming at Yale at 20.71, and the state cut is 21.70.
Torres in lane 4 appears to have the edge as they swim for home. It's Torres in 4, Imler in 5. Those two will go 1-2, and third place will go to Brinker in lane 3 from Bishop Dwenger. And Torres' time, 23.08. Imler's second place time, 23.80. And Brinker in third, his time, 24.68. So now the A final. Lion Brooks will be in lane 1, and he's from Concordia. Andrew Howard from Carroll's in 2. Riley Anderson of Homestead in 3. His teammate Scott Hodson in 4. Jacob Miller from Snyder's in 5. Carson Bull from Carroll's in 6. Yelon Song from Homestead is in 7. Kyle Kressel from Carroll is in 8. As they introduce the competitors, everybody getting those butterflies worked out right now, I would imagine. And we'll be quiet. Good start. Who pops up first? It looks like it's Hodson in 4.
There's a lot of power going on in this swim.
As they turn for home, it's anybody's race. Here in lane 3, it's Anderson. Riley Anderson. And he wins it. Anderson wins it. Miller in second in lane 5. Hodson in third in lane 4. Bull takes fourth place in 6. Brooks is fifth in lane 1. So Riley Anderson from Homestead wins it with a time of 21.14. Miller in second place, his time 21.42. Hodson third, 21.63. Those three get state qualifying times. Bull finishes fourth, 22.2. And Brooks in fifth at 22.82. Lane 3 wins that race.
Not uncommon at all in a race that's this quick for somebody from 3 or 6 to win. You're not going to see 7, 8, 1, 2 a lot, but for the most part, anyone from 3 to 6 should be in contention in any race.
And that's a good point race there for Homestead. They got a first and a third. Bull in fourth place gets points for Carroll. Brooks getting points for Concordia there in fifth place. But from a point standpoint, that's a good race for Homestead.
Yes, Homestead did pick up some ground in that race. Do a little bit of old school math here. Homestead, I got scoring 48 in that event to Carroll's 38. So that was a 10-point swing. And that's going to bring the team scores to, I believe Homestead now has a 1-point lead going into the diving. No, check that. It's tied. I'm sorry. 173 for 173 as we head to the diving.
Okay, the awards being presented now for the 50 freestyle.
Scott Hodson. In second place, the state qualifying time from Snyder, Jacob Miller. The 2017 sectional 50-yard freestyle champion from Homestead High School, Riley Anderson.
And there's a good look at your winner, Riley Anderson. I used to have a haircut like that when I was a kid.
No sectional record set in that one, but again, 3 state qualifying swims. I can't stress enough, this is one of the fastest boys sectionals in the state of Indiana. Anybody in the near vicinity that's a swimming fan that's anywhere close should get here because this sectionals could very well come down to the 400 free relay.
Okay, a bit of a break now as we get the pool ready for the diving competition. Once again, today's broadcast being brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260Sports. Like our Facebook page at Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Parkview Sports Medicine is a proud supporter of Fort Wayne area athletics and its athletes. Parkview Sports Medicine can provide the training, treatment, and education you need to advance your sports game. Have questions about injury prevention, sports nutrition, and more? We've got you covered. That's Parkview Sports Medicine at parkview.com. Sports Center Incorporated is Fort Wayne's premier sporting goods dealer, offering equipment rental, embroidery, and screen printing. Sports Center is ready and willing to help you place orders and or answer any questions concerning pricing. Sports Center Incorporated is located at 5511 Coventry Lane, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46804. 2000. Go ahead, Jim.
Team scores through the fourth event, 50 freestyle. Can't get any closer than this. Homestead and Carroll are tied at 173. Snyder, third place, 110.
Well, as a former president of ours once said about this battle between Homestead and Carroll, well, there they go again. It looks like it's going to go right down to that last relay race. We'll have the diving right now. And when the diving competition concludes, we'll get back to the racing. We'll pick things up with the 100 butterfly. That'll be followed by the 100 freestyle, the 500 freestyle, 200 freestyle relay, 100 backstroke, 100 breaststroke, and the 400 freestyle relay. We have 15 competitors here for the diving. We have Jarrett Miller from Homestead, Ethan Honeycutt from Carroll, Jake Collier from Homestead, Alex Fiedler from Southside, and Matthew Haywar from Concordia, Connor Mahevics, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, from Snyder, James Swihart from Homestead, Eric Blackwell from Snyder, Caleb Keener from Carroll, Dylan Van Horn and Evan Wright, both from Northrop, Julian Lebanoff from Southside. And then we have Mitchell Mers from Snyder, Matt Mallers from Concordia, and Nate Pendergast from Lourdes. 1 meter diving. And we'll have 3 dives here for everybody.
For those of you not with us earlier, the way diving works is there's 8 preliminary rounds in the morning, 3 dives right now. The scores from this morning will be added to this afternoon's scores, and that will produce your champions. There are 7 judges that score the dives, anywhere from a 0 to a 10. The 2 top scores will be thrown out. The 2 low scores will be thrown out. The other 3 added together, multiplied by the dive's degree of difficulty, and that will produce the score for the dive.
So if you got a calculator, get it out. You're going to need it here.
Luckily, we'll just read you the dive, the competitor, give you their overall score, and then you can do the math yourself if you'd like. First up on the board will be Jared Miller from Homestead. He is our current leader.
Are we practicing now?
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a warm-up here.
Okay, so we got time. It's this is the tough part of the swimming. I just heard somebody behind us say, there is no way I can do that. Gets a little nervous sometimes when we have the diving. Again, this is the 2017 Swimming and Diving Sectional Finals here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium in Fort Wayne of Fort Wayne Southside High School on a spring-like day. It's February the 18th, and we're having temperatures in the 60s, so it's made the interior here of the natatorium a little bit warmer. A lot of folks wearing shorts today, as it looks like spring has arrived early. Ironically, they got a golf show going on at the Memorial Coliseum today, and it's almost nice enough to play 18 holes. But we still got the winter sports to wrap up here. Again, we got the swimming sectionals going on around the state. We got the girls basketball semi-states going on today. The wrestling finals in Indianapolis. And tomorrow we'll have the drawing for the boys basketball sectionals. The boys basketball tournament that gets underway a week from Tuesday at many locations. And we'll find out tomorrow night who will play who and when in the boys basketball state tournament. Again, by Jim's calculations, the battle for first place is a tie right now through the 50 freestyle. There we are. 173 for Carroll, 173 for Homestead, 110 for Snyder. Last year's sectional went right down to the wire. Homestead winning it with 525.5 points. Carroll was second with 501. Snyder was third with 348.5. But Carroll got the best of Homestead at the state meet. Carroll finished fifth at states with 174. Homestead was eighth with 110. Snyder was 11th at states with 59.
you're going to see Homestead open up a little bit of a gap here. They have 3 divers competing. Carroll only has 2 on their roster. Right now through 8 dives, Homestead's Jared Miller is the leader. They also have James Swinehart in 4th place and Jake Collier in 11th, while Carroll has Ethan Honeycutt in 3rd and Caleb Keener in 10th. So Homestead's going to pick up some points in the diving. So then it'll be up to Carroll to try to race their way back in the swimming portion of the meet.
And again, if you remember watching diving during the Olympic competition, you're looking for the least amount of splash possible. You want to go into the water as straight as possible. You don't want a whole lot of water splashing and getting the judges all wet, and that's not good. But now where are the judges going to be located? Right down here below us?
Right below us.
Okay.
It'll be tough for us to see the scores. They will be read over the PA. They will be put on the scoreboard, and the scoreboard's smart enough to drop the top 2, bottom 2, add the others, multiply it. We just look for the award score, and we can tell everyone what it is.
All right, let's take a break as we get ready for the diving competition. Back with more from the boys swimming and diving sectionals at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium in just a moment on SummitCitySports.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced DRs in the design process? By creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care.
So 102C is a forward, 1 somersault, tuck dive. So I can tell if you want to say who the
It's more than winning state championships and titles. It's more than challenging your cross-city rivals. FWCS Athletics brings out the best in students, giving them confidence, discipline, and a will to persevere. See how we compete and see what we do at FortWayneSchools.org.
Snyder. Diving 9th, Caleb Keeter Carroll. Diving 10th, Dylan Van Horn.
All right, we're back. Welcome back, everybody, to the 2017 Fort Wayne Boys Swimming and Diving Sectional Finals. We're ready now for the 1-meter diving competition. 15 competitors will be having their final 3 dives. They had their first 8 dives this morning. Jim Measle here along with Jim Kressel. Our cameraman is Nick Cox. Our director is Balin Height. And we're ready to dive here. And the first man on the board will be Jarrett Miller from Homestead. He's a senior. And he's getting ready to go down here.
Jared's dive will be a 401B, which is an inward dive in the pike position.
I wonder sometimes in the diving competitions, do you save your toughest dives for the last, or do you try to, as Nuke LaRouche would say, announce your presence with authority early on?
You're going to have to get a dive coach to answer that question. I do not know.
It's an interesting strategy. I want to announce my presence with authority. All right, fastball.
Jared is our leader right now with 318.7 points. Well clear of the field. 244.0 is the second place. Nate Pendergrast of Lures. So Jared just needs to complete these dives unless other guys just knock it out of the park. And I think you're looking at our champion right here going first.
The sectional record, by the way, was set 2 years ago, 563.65. We're getting people in place now here. We'll get underway shortly. I thought we were going to get going here in a moment ago.
Actually, I think they might have having a misprint on that. Kevin Freeble last year at Homestead did a 676.85 en route to a state championship.
Oh, okay.
That's a record that, unless we find an Olympian to show up in Fort Wayne, that's one that's going to stand a long time.
Again, it's tied right now in the team standings by our count, but we may have a change there, Jim. We understand that there's
report of a potential soft touch in the 50 free, but I don't know if we're going to see any change in the standings. We should know here soon.
Okay, we're ready to go here, and here it's Jarrett Miller from Homestead. He's a senior. Very smooth. Very, very smooth. So one of the judges scored 6, and one of the spectators down here to my right said 6? Well, we don't count that score, but you throw out the 9. And that was
Honeycutt from Carroll,
yep,
with an inward dive pike. Sorry, it was a forward 1.5 somersault pike. It does look like the guys are bringing their A game for these last 3 dives.
Jake Collier from Homestead. He's a sophomore. Nice entry into the water there for Jake.
That's going to get him in the mid-20s for the score. 28.05 for the dive for Jake.
Alex Fiedler from Southside up now. Alex is a junior. Oh, not quite straight going to the water there.
Didn't quite finish that twist. I think the scores will show it.
Oh. Yeah. Unfortunately, very low scores there for Alex. All right, shake it off, young man. Matthew Haywar from Concordia.
Matthew was in 6th place following the 8 prelim dives this morning, so looking to have a couple dives really well and move up in the standings.
Not quite straight going in, but a good dive nonetheless.
51-22 1.9 forward somersault, 1 twist free.
Connor Mahevix from Snyder. Connor's a freshman.
Score 5, 4, 5, 4.5. James.
Next up, James Swinehart from Homestead. He's a junior.
Back somersault, half twist free.
You're doing a back somersault with a half a twist here in the free position.
That's a good one. That's a very nice dive there.
Scores 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5.
Eric Blackwell up now from Snyder. He's a sophomore.
27.8, reverse somersault, half twist.
27.2 on that dive for James. He's got a solid top 5 spot right now.
Scores 4, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5.
Caleb Keener from Carroll. He's a junior.
1.6, inward somersault tuck.
Good dive there for Caleb Keener.
5.5, 5, 5.5, 5.
Dylan Van Horn from Northrop now up. Dylan's a sophomore.
Half somersault, half twist.
24.0 on that last dive for Caleb.
Again, Jared Miller from Homestead with a big lead. Oh, well. Legs were not quite together there at the end.
3, 2.5, 2.5.
Difficult dive, Brandon, with a degree of difficulty of 2.2. So the lower scores will be offset by the degree of difficulty. And that'll score as an 18.70.
Reverse somersault.
Evan Wright now, a freshman from Northrop, is up. All right, let's see what Evan's scores are after that dive.
Scores 4, 2, 3.5, 3.5, 3, 3.5, 2.5.
Here's Julian Levinoff from Southside.
1.6 forward, 1.5 somersault tuck. Scores 3.5, 4, 3.5, 4.5, 4.5. Mitchell.
All right, Julian Levinoff, a freshman. Now we're up to Mitchell Mers. He's from Snyder. He's also swimming in this sectional as well.
Interesting combination. You don't see that often at all.
And a nice dive there.
Then again, diving is one event, just like any other swim is one event. So you can dive, you can swim, you can be on a couple relays.
4.5s and 5s mostly on that dive. And we're up now to Mark Mallers. Mark is from Concordia. He's a senior.
4.5, 5, 4, 4.5, 5.
Mark's quite busy in sports as he was part of the Concordia State Championship football team, now diving, and I do believe he also plays on their baseball team.
Scores mainly 4.5 there, between 4 and 5 for Mark. And here's Nate Prendergast from Lourdes. Oh, nice dive there for Nate. That wraps up round number 9.
6.5.
A 6.5.
5.5. 5.5.
Nate went into the finals here in second place. Good distance off of Jared Miller, but doesn't mean he's not going to keep trying to catch him.
Scores between 5.5 and 6.5 there for Nate Prendergast, and that wraps up round number 9. We go back to the top now. Jarrett Miller starts round number 10. Jarrett Miller from Homestead. Oh, that was not one of his better dives. Bit of a smack there.
It's still a completed dive, so he will still score on it, and a 2.3 degree difficulty will allow him to maintain his lead.
203C.
381.95 through 10 rounds for Jarrett.
4 and 4.5 on that particular dive for Jarrett Miller. Here's Ethan Honeycutt from Carroll. Well, not quite straight going to the water. But again, the high degree of difficulty. You got to figure that in.
I'll tell you what, I could do a straight dive and you'd want to make it a 10 degree of difficulty for me.
302C.
This is impressive what these kids do.
3.5, a couple 3.5, some 4s, and 4.5, the top score. Now Jake Collier from Homestead. And Jake with a pretty good dive there.
5, 4.5.
Well, I heard a 5 in there.
4, 4.5, 4.5.
Unfortunately, last year's third place finisher at state, Noah Marble, was unable to compete due to an injury. But he will be continuing on his diving career at the University of Pittsburgh. So it's not over for Noah, but it's unfortunate he wasn't able to compete today.
Jake with scores between 3.5 and 5. Alex Fiedler now from South Side.
5, 4, 4.5, 4.5, 4.
And scores between 4 and 5 there for Alex. Matthew Hayward now from Concordia. Oh, that's a good one. That's a solid dive for Matthew.
6, 6.5.
6s and a 6.5. And the German judge scores 5.5. 5.5, well, we'll throw that out, but mainly 6s there on that dive. This is James Swinehart from Homestead. And a good dive there for James Swinehart. Should get some decent scores.
4.5. 5.5.
Ooh, 5.5.
4.5. 4.5. 5.5. 5. 5.5. James.
4.5 to 5.5 there for James Swinehart. That was, who was that last night? Was that Connor?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There
This
was
is James Swinehart. Okay.
5.5, 6, 6.5, 5.5, 6, 5.5, 5.5.
5.5 and 6 for Swinehart. Now Eric Blackwell from Snyder.
Somersault tuck.
Wow, total score of almost 286 points there in that last dive. Blackwell, a sophomore.
6, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 5.5.
5.5s and 6s.
Caleb,
Here's Caleb Keener from Carroll.
1.7, forward somersault, half twist 3.
26.40 for Eric on that last dive.
The lead score at 381.95. Well, not quite straight going to the water there.
Scores, 4, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5,
3.5s and a 4 on that dive for Caleb Keener. Dylan Van Horn from Northrop.
2.2.
There'll be one more round of dives following this round. .2 degree difficulty here for Dylan Van Horn, sophomore from Northrop.
Scores, 3, 3.5, 3,
3 and 3.5, sir, on that particular dive for Dylan Van Horn. Evan Wright from Northrop, a freshman, up next.
back dive straight.
And a good dive for Evan Wright.
2.5, 3, 3.5, 3, 3.
But the judges score between 2.5 and 3.5 in that particular dive.
2.2.
Julian Lebanoff from Southside up next. He's a freshman. Basically in his home pool here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium at Fort Wayne South.
If Julian forgot any of his homework, he could just walk right across the parking lot, head back to his locker, and make sure he gets it done by Monday.
Scores mainly 3.5 there for Lebanoff. Mitchell Mers from Snyder, a junior, is your next diver. Good height off the board there. And a pretty good entry. And he's rewarded 5.5 scores. And a couple 4.5s thrown in. Mark Mallers from Concordia.
Double somersault tuck.
Oh, boy, that looked pretty good. The entry, though, not quite straight. 4s across the board. And a 3.5.
3.5.
Nate Prendergast from Lourdes will wrap up round number 10. He's a sophomore.
Half somersault tuck.
Very nice. Very nice.
Score 6, 5.5, 6, 6, 6,
Mostly sixes.
5.
All right.
Begin our
Final round of dives now.
diving in the sectional event.
Jarrett Miller from Homestead, your leader.
303C.
And it looks like Nate Pendergrass has gotten into second place here now, Jim.
I agree. I think Nate's looked very solid for a sophomore bursting onto the scene here today.
Pendergrass trailing by our count by 81 points heading into this final round. Here's your leader. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, he bounced back, didn't he, after a disappointing dive in round 10.
6, 5, 5.5,
It's a battle for second now.
Yep.
Congratulations to Jared Miller, your sectional champion.
7.5.
Oh, I heard a 7.5 in there.
51-22.
There it is.
1.9.
Low score is 5, top score is 7.5. A 7 will be counted in there. Pretty wide disparity in the scores in that particular dive. Ethan Honeycutt from Carroll, a sophomore, with his final dive there.
5, 5.
Top 4 competitors today will move on to Tuesday's regional at Fishers, a little different than the swimming. And then from there, the top 8 at Fishers will move on to the state finals next weekend.
Forward dive top.
Jake Collier, sophomore from Homestead, on the board.
Scores 4, 5.5, 5.5, 4.5, 4.5.
Scores between 4 and 5.5 there for Collier. Alex Fiedler now from Southside
1.5.
with his final dive. The lead score is 417.65. All right, let's see how Alex scored there.
4, 4.5, 4, 5, 5, 6.
Oh, 6 snuck in there.
51-21.
So scores between 4 and 6.
Forward somersault, half twist free.
Now Matthew Haywar from Concordia is on the board. Nice entry. Very nice entry.
Scores 5, 5,
And some good scores.
3.5, 5, 4.5, 5.
Connor
1.5C.
Mahavix now from Snyder.
Forward, 2.5 somersault tuck.
Again, the score to beat is 417.65. Boy, I tell you what, if it wasn't for the entry, that's a great dive.
4.5, 4, 4.5.
High degree of difficulty, so he should get some decent points here.
4. James, 103C.
Scores mainly between 4 and 5 on that particular dive.
1.5 somersault
For
tuck.
Connor, here's James Swinehart, junior from Homestead. Boy, if he had just straightened out that landing a little bit more, that would have been a heck of a score for Connor. Oh, no.
That stung.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. And you can see he's upset with himself as he gets out of the water.
2, 1.5, 2, 2, 1.5,
Well,
2, 2.
I notice his teammate Jared Miller comes over. First off, says, "Don't worry about it, pal." And they're checking to see if he's all right. He's fine. But, boy. Well, stuff happens, right? That's Eric Blackwell from Snyder with his last dive, a sophomore.
Scores 3.5, 4.5, 4,
Scores mainly 3.5 and 4.
4.5.
Caleb Keener now from Carroll, a junior, with his final dive. 2.2 degree of difficulty. No, I'm sorry, 1.6 degree of difficulty. Nice entry, very nice entry into the water.
5.5.
5s and 5.5s.
5.5.
Got 6 more divers. Dylan Van Horn now from Northrop, a sophomore.
Forward, 2.5 somersault tuck.
We'll get back to the swimming after the diving competition. Good rotation there. 2.4 degree of difficulty. That's a tough dive he had for his last round.
It's one of those, though, if you nail that one at a 2.4 degree of difficulty, it can vault you up the standings in a hurry.
Yeah, he went for it. Scores between 2 and 3.5. And this is Evan Wright from Northrop.
Scores 3.5. 3.
Scores between 3 and 3.5 for Evan Wright. Julian Lebanoff now
104.6.
from Southside, his final dive.
Forward, double somersault tuck.
All right, nice dive there
Scores
for Julian. Took a long time on that board before he would go.
3.
He did that this morning, too. He concentrates a lot, visualizes his dive before he performs it. You know what? If you're up there willing to do this, take as much time as you want.
403C.
Mitchell Mers from Snyder.
Inward, 1.5 somersault tuck.
There are the scores posted there for Julian. Scores between 3 and 4.5. Mitchell Mers from Snyder, a junior, with his final dive there. And some good scores, 5s and 5.5s. Mark Mallers from Concordia, his last dive coming up.
5111C. 1.6. Forward dive. 1 half twist tuck.
All right,
Scores
one more dive to go here now.
1.5. 3. 2.
And unfortunately, low scores for Mark there on that last dive.
Nate.
All right, here's the young man who's
2.2.
done well today for Bishop Lures, Nate
Double somersault
Prendergast, only a sophomore.
Nate completes this dive. You're going to see him at regionals next week. He will get second place by completing the dive.
That's pretty solid right there. That's a good way to close the show.
Start the bus, Lures. You're sending a diver to Fishers.
5.5.
Listen to those scores, 6s and 5.5s. He's happy. High five. I think that's Jarrett Miller down here. He gave a high five too. Wow, 6s and 5.5s. 38.5 points in that last dive, a total of 339.3. Jarrett Miller will finish in first place. Great sportsmanship there at the end there. Jarrett was the first guy to greet Nate out of the pool following that last dive.
Looks like your top four, according to my calculations, that will be headed to Fishers for Tuesday night regionals will be Jared Miller from Homestead, Nate Prendergast from Lures, Ethan Honeycutt from Carroll, and James Swinehart from Homestead.
All right, that works for me. We'll see if the officials match your arithmetic there, Jim. Jim Measler here along with Jim Kressel, along with Nick Cox and our director, Balin Height. And we'll get the lane markers back in the pool. We'll get the lane ready for swimming once again. Up next to be the 100 butterfly. That'll be followed by the 100 freestyle, the 500 freestyle, the 200 freestyle relay, the 100 backstroke, the 100 breaststroke, and the 400 freestyle relay.
They're going to get the flags back up, the lane markers back in place, the diving boards put up, and the guys will get a little time to warm up a little, and we'll have the awards for the diving and head back into the swimming events.
Once again, today's broadcast being brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260 Sports. Like our Facebook page at Summit City Sports. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Parkview Sports Medicine is a proud supporter of Fort Wayne area athletics and its athletes. Parkview Sports Medicine can provide the training, treatment, and education you need to advance your sports game. Have questions about injury prevention, sports nutrition, and more? We've got you covered. That's Parkview Sports Medicine at parkview.com. Sports Center Incorporated is Fort Wayne's premier sporting goods dealer, offering equipment rental, embroidery, and screen printing. Sports Center is ready and willing to help you place orders and or answer any questions concerning pricing. Sports Center Incorporated is located at 5511 Coventry Lane, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46804. So let's take a break. We'll come back with more from the swimming and diving sectionals in the Helen P. Brown Natatorium in just a moment on SummitCitySports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine is the most trusted of its kind in Northeast Indiana. That's because of the benefits our services provide you. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionists, the expert physicians at O&E, the area's only specialized athletic rehab, and the region's industry leader in sports performance, AWP. The roster coordinates your care in state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in your community. To start your journey, visit us at parkviewsportsmedicine.com.
challenging your cross-city rivals. FWCS Athletics brings out the best in students, giving them confidence, discipline, and a will to persevere. See how we compete and see what we do at fortwayneschools.org.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2017 Boys Sectional Swimming and Diving Finals here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium at Southside High School. Jim Measel here along with Jim Kressel. Nick Cox, our cameraman. Our director is Balin Height. We're about ready to have the award presentations for the diving. And then we'll go to the 100-yard butterfly. 2 weeks for that. Consolation and then the finals. And Jim, we expected a close meet.
We've got it. First off, I need to apologize to the Mahaviks. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The Mahaviks family from Snyder. Connor will be our fourth-place finisher today, and will be headed to regionals along with Ethan Honeycutt from Carroll, Nate Prendergast of Lures, and Jared Miller of Homestead. But yeah, right now through the diving competition, Homestead has a 213 to 198 point lead. Snyder in third at 142. And look for that to tighten up a little bit here, as Carroll has the 1, 2, and 3 seeds in the butterfly event.
All right, they're introducing they're doing the awards right now for diving. Let's pick up the top 8.
In 8th place from Southside, Alex Fever. In 7th place from Snyder, Eric Blackwell. In 6th place from Concordia, Matt Haywood. In 5th place from Homestead, James Schweinhart. In 4th place from Snyder, Connor Mahaviks. In 3rd place from Carroll, Ethan Honeycutt. In 6th place from Bishop Leaders, Nate Prendergast. In the 2017 Boys 1-meter sectional diving champion with a score of 417.65 from Homestead, Jared Miller.
All right. Smile there, young man. You've earned it.
This will be the first call for the boys 100-yard butterfly.
That's a guy right there that's lived in the shadows for 4 years of his high school career. One of Homestead's best ever divers, Kevin Freeble and Noah Marble. But 4 years, actually more than 4 years, a lot of years of hard work just paid off. And Jarrett Miller, you're a sectional champion.
Yes, and good luck at the regional round now. Again, the diving competition in the state of Indiana, after the sectionals, they do have a regional and then a state final. So it's kind of like two different sports there. All right, here we go. Ready to resume the swimming portion of the sectional. 100-yard butterfly. This is the consolation final. In lane 1, Luke Maskell from Dwenger. Lane 2, Sebastian Rengel from Northrop. Lane 3, Bull Trowbridge from Snyder. Evan Croft from Concordia is in 4. And away they go. Lane 5, Zachary Kubelis from Snyder. Ben Fink from Lures in 6. Andre Hawley from Dwenger is in 7. His teammate, Roman Dickel, is in lane 8. 4 lengths of the pool here, 100-yard butterfly. And this is a stroke I think Jim mentioned Thursday night. This is one that really grinds on you.
This one here is a body killer. Shoulder, strong upper body to be able to pull yourself through the water like they do.
Try and do this in your backyard pool next summer. And Jim, you'll find out what Jim's talking about here.
I give you 3 strokes and you're done.
All right, we got a close race for first. Evan Croft in the middle from Concordia in lane 4. Trying to hold off Zachary Kubelis from Snyder in 5. It's neck and neck. Neck and neck here. A late run here by Kubelis, and at the wall, Croft holds on by 0.05 of a second.
0.3 of a second separated 1, 2, and 3 in that event. just right there in the middle of the pool, just like they qualified. State sectional record of 49.17 was set in 2015 by Ryan Housing. And the state cut is 51.39.
Croft's winning time was 58.22. Cabela's had a 58.47, so actually it was a span of 25 hundredths of a second. Trowbridge finished third, 58.87. And those were the only 3 times under a minute. Now for the championship final, Josiah Barber from Northside in 1. We'll give you the rest in a moment. Chase Chastain from Homestead in 2. Noah Urian from Carroll in 3. 2 other Carroll swimmers in 4 and 5. Jackson Kent in 4. Tim Cater in 5. Wes Hembry from Homestead in 6. Andre Gill from Lourdes in 7. Trey Cooley from Homestead in 8. As we approach the halfway point, looks like in lane 4 is Jackson Kent trying to put an exclamation mark on his Carroll swimming career. He's a senior, one of 2 seniors on the Charger team. He's got the lead.
Being pushed by Noah in lane 3.
It's Kent turning for home with the lead. 10 yards to go.
Jackson's got this wrapped up. It's going to be photo for 2-3-4.
Look at that battle for second. It'll be Chastain taking second in lane 2. Cater takes third in lane 5. Urian fourth in 3. And Hembry fifth in lane 6. Kent's winning time 50 seconds flat. Chastain in second at 51.25. Cater 11 hundredths of a second back in third at 51.36. Urian at 51.52 in fourth. Hembry 51.87 in fifth.
Along with Jackson Kent for winning the event, Chase Chastain and Tim Cater will be going to state. Noah Yarian barely off the state cut time of 51.39. I think that 51.52 will get him called up, and look for him to be swimming next week as well.
So Jackson Kent, after earlier finishing first in the 200 individual medley, adds a sectional championship in the 100 butterfly. Pretty good show so far for the senior.
Nice swim by Chase Chastain. Carroll was seated 1, 2, 3 in that event. And for Chase to jump up from lane 2 to finish second is some really big change of points that Carroll thought they were getting, but now will go to Homestead. So Carroll's not able to close the gap as much as we thought they might in the 100 fly, but the gap has been shaved a little bit.
And we got the 100 freestyle coming up next, as we'll have the awards now for the 100 butterfly. Bit of a cool down here as we await the awards for the 100 butterfly. Once again, today's broadcast being brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260 Sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The 100 freestyle coming up next. The sectional record set last year, 46.44. State qualifying time is 47.35.
Carroll did pick up 7 points in that event. So now the score is 257 to 249. Homestead with the lead.
8-point lead for the Spartans. Snyder in third with 155. Jackson Kent with his second individual sectional title of the afternoon, winning the 100 butterfly. 3 state qualifying times in that particular event. Now we move on to the 100 freestyle in the B final. Adam Veltman from Lourdes. Paul Helmich from Carroll is in 2. Mason Pickett from Concordia is in 3. Jonathan Gill from Lourdes in 4. Maxwell Imler from Concordia in lane 5. We'll give you the rest once they get going here. Zachary Hyde from Snyder is in 6. Jackson Heaton from Dwenger is in 7. Zachary Cabellis from Snyder is in lane 8. 100 freestyle, 4 lengths of the pool. And on the first turn, looks like Gill with the lead in 4, but he's being challenged in 5 by Imler and by Hyde in lane 6. A slight lead for Gill at the halfway point, but Imler's right there. And now coming up in 3, we got Mason Pickett. 25 yards to go on this turn. Jonathan Gill in the red swimming hat turns for home with the lead. And he's opening up things now. Although in lane 6, Hyde is right there. Tight battle for second. And coming up to get second place, Pickett in lane 3. Gill wins the race, followed by Pickett. Hyde, third place in lane 6. Imler in lane 5 gets 4th. Helmich in lane 2 gets 5th. Gill's time 53.36. Pickett's time 53.9. And Hyde's time 53.97. Now we go to the championship final. Jacob Miller from Snyder in 1, Samuel Woltman from Carroll's in 2, Parker Bull from Carroll's in 3, Noah Dalton from Homestead in 4, Scott Hodson from Homestead in 5, Carson Bull from Carroll's in 6, Riley Anderson from Homestead is in 7, Liam Brooks from Concordia is in lane 8. So you got 3 each from Homestead and Carroll. Big race here for points. Clean start. And it looks like it's Scott Hodson grabbing the early lead in lane 5. 100-yard freestyle, 4 lengths of the pool. And indeed, Hodson has the lead as they approach the halfway mark. Hodson with about a half body length lead.
Watch Riley Anderson in 7.
Looks like it's Homestead 1-2 right now. Scott Hodson with the lead, 25 yards to go in lane 5. Dalton right there for second. Dalton gaining. Dalton takes the lead. The last 25 yards and Dalton wins it. Hodson second. And Anderson, a strong swim in lane 7, takes third.
Big race for Homestead.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3. That's going to put some separation in the team standings.
The Spartans of Homestead. Big points race there. Dalton's winning time, 46.7. Hodson second, 47.24. Anderson third, 47.36. Bull in fourth place in lane 3, 47.79. And Miller in 5th place in lane 1. How about the race by Jacob Miller from Snyder in lane 1, 47.93.
It's a good time, real good time from the outside, finishing 5th place.
Yes, that was a very strong swim by Jacob Miller. Tip of the hat to that young man. So
Homestead might be tipping their cap to him too. By him finishing 5th, that pushed Carson Bull to 6th and Sam Waltman to 7th. Again, that's a couple points, but at the end, this thing might be a 1 or 2 point event.
But still a huge points race right there for the Homestead Spartans as we're into a cool down right now. We got the 500-yard freestyle coming up next. Before that, we will have the awards for the 100 freestyle. And let's go down for the awards for the 100 freestyle. Looks like Homestead by Jim's numbers with about a 21-point lead now for Homestead. That's unofficial.
Yeah, that event right there, Homestead scored 53 points to Carroll's 40. A huge swing for Homestead. Carroll's going to need to get it back in the next couple events, or it might be too little too late.
In 7th place for Carroll, Samuel Logan. In 6th place for Carroll, Carson Bull. In 5th place from Snyder, Jacob Miller. In 4th place from Carroll, Parker Bull. In 3rd place from Homestead, Riley Anderson. In 2nd place with same qualifying time of 47.24 from Homestead, Scott Hudson. And your boys, 2017 100-yard freestyle champion with a time of 46.7 from Homestead, Noah Dalton.
Noah Dalton from Homestead. And the folks down here to our right, there's a sizable contingent of Homestead fans, and they're all standing right now, cheering that win by Noah Dalton. Now, 500-yard freestyle. Again, Homestead by our count with 310 points, up by 21 points over Carroll, 289. Snyder in third at 178. 500-yard freestyle, the sectional record, set 2 years ago, 4:36.29. The state qualifying time is 4:41.32. It's 20 lengths of the pool. And in the consolation final, we got Charlie Burton from Lourdes in lane 1. Nathan Walls from Concordia in 2, his teammate. Joshua Gangline is in 3. Jacob Burton from Snyder is in 4. We'll give you the rest in a moment here. And away they go. Bryce Hunt from Northrop is in 5. His teammate, Ty White, is in 6. Joseph Straley from Dwenger is in 7th. And Logan Johnson from Northside is in lane 8. 20 lengths of the pool. 500-yard freestyle. Needless to say, the longest race. This is the marathon of swimming. Just 4 events to go after this. The 200-yard freestyle relay, 100 backstroke, the 100 breaststroke, and we'll wrap it up with a 400 freestyle relay. And very close for the lead here at the outset. That's Bryce Hunt in lane 5. Looks like he's got a slight lead as they finish their third length. Hunt in 5 on the outside of him, challenging for the lead. That's Tychicus White from Northside. And they're neck and neck at the end of the fourth length here. Tight race for third as well. In lane 4, that's Jacob Burton. Coming down to the end of the fifth lap. Still a neck and neck race. Lane 5, Bryce Hunt. And lane 6, Ty White. Northrop teammates. And it looks like now White is edging ahead a little bit here in this consolation final, the 500 freestyle. 6 down, 14 to go. And challenging in third place now in lane 4, that's Jacob Burton from Snyder. So very, very close amongst the top 3 swimmers as they finish their 7th length. Nobody's been able to pull away here. Yeah, man, you can throw a blanket over those 3 guys. They are that close right now. Although I wouldn't suggest that you'll get your blanket wet. Jacob Burton looks like he has edged ahead by about an arm length here at the end of the 8th lap. Burton from Snyder, he's a freshman. Hunt's a freshman. White's a junior. 9 down, 11 to go in this consolation final in the 500-yard freestyle. Jim Measle with you tonight, along with Jim Kressel here on SummitCitySports.com. And now, finally a bit of a gap for first place as Jacob Burton edges ahead at the halfway mark. He's out to a body length lead and is starting to pull away from his nearest competitors.
Jacob's split in that last 50 was about 1.5 to 2 seconds faster than Bryce and Ty's, which is obviously why you're starting to see a little bit of a difference. But it looks like he might have a little bit more left in the tank than the other two guys.
Coming down to the end of the 12th lap, or length if you will. 12 down, 8 to go after this. And now moving into second place is Bryce Hunt. Lane 6, White is in third. And up there challenging now for third place is Gagline in lane 3.
Jacob again with the fastest split in that 50 at 34.66, so he's extending his lead as the race progresses.
13 down, 7 to go. It was close in the first half of the race, but now Burton is dominating, and he just slowly but surely builds that lead. After this touch, 14 down, 6 to go. Still a good battle for second place here, or 10th place in the final standings. In second place in lane 5, that's Bryce Hunt. Looks like now Gagline has gotten up for third place in lane 3.
Gagline did have the fastest split in that 50, so I think he's running his race to where he's putting it all towards the end. Let's see if he's got enough left to try to reel in Jake here.
After the touch here, be 16 down, 4 to go. The leader, Jacob Burton from Snyder in lane 4. And it's neck and neck for second right now between Bryce Hunt in 5 and Josh Gagline in 3. Gagline, as Jim mentioned, swimming very strongly here in these last few laps. And we'll get the cowbell this time down. Love that cowbell.
It's got to be a beautiful sound for the swimmers. I would have never heard it because there's no way in the world I'd swim in an event like this.
There it is, kind of like a Mississippi State football game. Jacob Burton with the lead. It looks like now Gagline has gotten second place in lane 3. Hunt has dropped back to third in lane 5. White is now fourth in lane 6. And Jacob Burton turns for home with a solid lead. He'll win this consolation final. Jacob Burton, only a freshman from Snyder. So that's a ninth place finish for him in the sectional. Second place in this race goes to Joshua Gagline. And third place will belong to Bryce Hunt. And Hunt also a freshman. So some good young talent in that particular heat. 2 freshmen finishing in the top 3.
Don't be confused looking at the board. Jacob did not finish that race in 3:33.61.
That's a split.
I think that might be a world record if that was the case. But something happened to the board. But he definitely did win the event or win the race for ninth place.
Well, let's see if they got the final times up. The Gremlins have been kind of making that board act kind of funky today, unfortunately. You know, when you're at work and your computer slows down or even seizes up and freezes on you, you just look inside your server. You see those little gremlins from the movie. Okay, so the consolation final is in the books, and now we go to the championship final here in the 500-yard freestyle. In lane 1, Alexander Bowe from Snyder. Then we have Homestead competitors in lanes 2 through 4. Zach Siska in 2, Bryce Warner in 3, Julian Norman in 4. Then we have Carroll swimmers in lanes 5, 6, and 7. Jack McCurdy in 5, Christian Siri in 6, Matthew Woolham in 7. And from Concordia in lane 8, we have Jacob McGauley. It's the 500-yard freestyle. Again, 20 lengths of the pool. Starting to get down to the nitty-gritty here in the sectional meet. Just 4 races to go after this event. By our count, Homestead with a 21-point lead entering this race for the sectional title with 310. They had a big points race in the 100 freestyle with the top 3 finishers in that particular race.
This event here is an opportunity for Homestead to extend their lead if seeds were to hold. What we need to see for Carroll's, you need to see their swimmers in 6 and 7 be able to beat the swimmers in 2 and 3 for Homestead. That will swing some points their way and tighten up the overall standings. If this race were to hold the seed, Homestead would pick up a few more points and widen the gap with fewer events to go.
Well, we're not quite ready to start yet. I look over the scores table, Jim, and it looks like we've got a conversation going. And twice now the starting mechanism is fired. So I see the clock is running on the board there. And
I think they're trying to find the gremlins and rid the building of them.
Not quite set to go. I don't see the starter down here.
There's a reason why they have timers in each lane to back up in case that computer functions fail. We can go to the good old-fashioned stopwatch.
Okay, well, we have a slight break. Let's take a timeout. Back with more from the swimming and diving sectionals here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium following this timeout.
There are a lot of moving parts in any video broadcast. These Career Academy students learn the value of teamwork, coming together seamlessly when it's time for lights, camera, action. See what we do. Visit fortwayneschools.org.
Welcome back, everybody. Jim Meso along with Jim Kressel here at the swimming and diving sectionals for the boys at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium. We're getting ready to run the 500 freestyle championship final, but we're in sort of a holding pattern right now as there apparently is an issue involving the timing mechanism. As we have, it looks like the starter over there at the scorers table, and there you can see, if you're watching at home here on SummitCitySports.com, are they going to go to stopwatches? Looks like the problem has been corrected as the officials now heading back to their post. Today's broadcast being brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page at Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Parkview Sports Medicine, a proud supporter of Fort Wayne area athletics and its athletes. Parkview Sports Medicine can provide the training, treatment, and education you need to advance your sports game. Have questions about injury prevention, sports nutrition, and more? We've got you covered. That's Parkview Sports Medicine at parkview.com. Sports Center Incorporated is Fort Wayne's premier sporting goods dealer, offering equipment rental, embroidery, and screen printing. Sports Center is ready and willing to help you place orders and or answer any questions concerning pricing. Sports Center Incorporated, located at 5511 Coventry Lane, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46804. Well, the starter is returning to his position. That's our head starter, David Sexton. Jill Brown is our assistant starter. Bob Dunlap, the stroke and turn judge. All right, we're set to resume now. 500-yard freestyle final. Homestead swimmers in lanes 2, 3, and 4. Carroll swimmers in lanes 5, 6, and 7. And with just 4 events to go, a strong showing by Homestead in this race will certainly help their chances to win a second straight sectional title. Right now they have unofficially a 21-point lead over Carroll entering this event. Starter giving some instructions right now to the competitors. And the whistle sounds. I guess he just told them to not get up on the blocks before the whistle. And away they go. Good start. You don't get very many false starts in the 500. Watch the Homestead swimmers. They're in 2, 3, and 4. The Carroll swimmers are in 5, 6, and 7.
It's interesting to see the different styles. Who's going to get out fast in this? And who's going to lay back a little bit and save some for the end. Everyone's got a different strategy when it comes to this race, but you can't let someone get too far out ahead of you that you're unable to catch them in the long run.
As they finish up the third length, looks like in lane 3, it's Bryce Warner with the early lead in 3. Lane 4, Julia Norman is in 4th place. Lane 5, it looks like Jack McCurdy from Carroll is in 3rd. And in lane 6 over there, Siri from Carroll is in 4th. Still very close, coming towards the end of the 5th length. 5 down, 15 to go. And now Bryce Warner establishes the lead in lane number 3. Tight battle for second. Although right now it looks like Norman has moved ahead slightly for second. 6 down, 14 to go.
Warner is the defending champion in this event, even though he's in lane 3. I think he might have held back a little bit Thursday night. I don't think he cares what lane he was swimming in today. He's going to get out there and say, catch me if you can, boys.
Well, he's in the clean water right now. He's got no wake because he's got the lead. Here in lane 3, his teammate in lane 4, Norman is in second, so it's Homestead 1-2, looking good for the Spartans, but we got a ways to go yet. This time down will be 9 down, 11 to go. It's Homestead, Carroll, your top 3 as we approach the halfway point of this 500-yard freestyle final. Bryce Warner in lane 3 is your leader. Still a tight battle for second. Julia Norman from Homestead in 4. A slight edge for second over Jack McCurdy of Carroll. And McCurdy may have taken second place there in the turn.
McCurdy did have the fastest split during that 50, not by much, but he had the fastest 50. It looks like he's actually picking up ground.
After that turn, 11 down, 9 to go. And McCurdy in lane 5, picking it up now. Warner is in first. McCurdy in 5 is up to second, barely. 12 down, 8 to go.
Again, McCurdy with the fastest split that 50. That was 100, but he had the fastest time. Let's see if he's got some left.
Norman doing all he can, but McCurdy looks very strong right now in 5. 13 down, 7 to go after that turn. Warner holds on, but McCurdy is lurking in 5. 14 down, 6 to go.
McCurdy picks up 2/0.2 of a second again. He's gained 3 50s in a row.
After this turn, 15 down, 5 to go. Wow, McCurdy really pouring it on here.
We'll have 100 yards to go after this turn, Jim.
Warner trying to hold on, but McCurdy now challenging for the lead. 4 to go.
McCurdy did take the lead. Another 0.2 of a second split. Jack McCurdy has taken the lead in this 500-yard race.
McCurdy with some very strong turns. This will be a big win for Carroll. They need the points. Will it get the cowbell this time down?
Here comes Julian Norman.
Oh my, what a race. Norman.
McCurdy, Norman. Who's going to take it?
It's round 15 of a slugfest. After this turn, 25 to go, 25 yards to go. Look at Norman in 4.
Wow. Julian Norman had a lot left in the tank. He's going to win this race going away.
Talk about a kick at the end. McCurdy will take second, and Warner will get third. So first and third
Look
for
at the
Homestead.
race for fifth. Ziska out-touches Warren for 5th place.
So Norman gets first with a time of 4:39.51. McCurdy second, 4:40.54. Warner third, 4:43.3. Siri fourth in lane 6, 4:47.8. Ziska in lane 2 takes fifth, 450.28. Followed by Woolham and Bowers. And Homestead gets a first.
Third and fifth. Carroll 2, 4, and 6. Just as it was seeded.
Oh, yeah, say the fans behind us.
Norman advances the state based on his sectional title, and McCurdy advances based on swimming the state qualifying time.
All right, so that was an exciting race there, the 500 freestyle. So a first place for Homestead and a third place and a fifth place. As Jim mentioned, that's just as they were seeded.
Homestead picks up 5 points in that, so now they've extended their lead to 26 headed into the 200 free relay.
All right, we got the 200 freestyle relay coming up next, and then that'll be 2 heats as well. We'll have the consolation final and then the championship final. Cool down for the competitors in that last race going on right now. Then we'll have their award presentation. Just so impressive what Julian Norman did in the last 50 yards there, Jim. Just amazing. I thought for a while that McCurdy was going to hold on, but Norman said, here I am, fellas.
We thought it was Warner for about 200 yards. Then we thought maybe it was going to be McCurdy for the next 200. And Julian Norman said, not so fast, my friends. I got this last 100.
He's only a sophomore, so he'll be around 2 more years. And we'll have the award presentation here shortly for the 500-yard freestyle. Well, I tell you, we've had a lot of big smiles from these sectional winners today. Show that dental work there, young man. Julian Norman, again, only a sophomore. Okay, now we're ready for the 200-yard freestyle relay. Here in the consolation final, we'll have in lane 3, South Side. Lane 4 will be Canterbury. And lane 5 will be North Side. Just 3 teams in this 200-yard freestyle relay. 8 lengths of the pool. And again, unofficially, according to Jim's numbers, Homestead with a 26-point lead with 4 events to go. 360 for the Spartans, 334 for Carroll, and 199 for Snyder in third place. Those are your top 3. Each swimmer swims 50 yards in this particular event. Again, it's 8 lengths of the pool. Coming down to the end of the third lap. And the leader in 4 is Canterbury. Right now, this is the race for 9th place in the final standings. Halfway through this time down. Cavaliers with the lead. In lane number 4, Southside with a half body length lead in lane 3, followed by Northside in 5. Once again, today's broadcast being brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260Sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Final leg of this race, the anchor leg now. And it's still Canterbury in the lead. Still a tight battle for second in this particular race. North side with the edge in lane 5. South side here in lane 3. And Canterbury will win the consolation final. We have the 200-yard freestyle relay. Second place goes to north side. Third place will go to south side. Now we get ready for the championship final in the 200-yard freestyle relay. Just 3 races to go after this one. The 100 backstroke, the 100 breaststroke, and then the 400 freestyle relay. All right, in lane 1 will be Bishop Lours. Lane 2, Bishop Dwenger. Snyder is in 3, Homestead in 4, Carroll in 5. Lane 6 will have Concordia. Northrop will be in 7. Wayne will be in lane 8. Championship final here in the 200-yard freestyle relay. Once again, 8 lengths of the pool. 4 swimmers. Each swim 50 yards.
Julian Norman just stepped out of the pool from the 500 freestyle and now is leading off Homestead's 200-yard freestyle relay.
He'll be followed by Scott Hudson, Riley Anderson, and Noah Dalton. The Carroll 4 are Tristan DeWitt, Carson Bull, Parker Bull, and Jackson Kent. You just got to wonder, this is going to decide perhaps a sectional championship. Homestead again with a 26-point lead. And only 3 events to go after this one. Homestead looking very, very strong right now. Trying to win a second straight sectional title.
I hate to say this is a must-win relay for Carroll, but they can't afford to lose 6 more points to Homestead. They need to gain 6 here. They do have the breaststroke coming up where they're seated 1, 2, 3, so that could be a big point swing there. But if they were to lose this relay, I don't know how they would be able to pull this out. So a lot of pressure on these kids.
Well, Homestead's won the last 2 races. Julian Norman won the 500 freestyle. Noah Dalton won the 100 freestyle. Jackson Kent swimming this relay for Carroll already has 2 sectional titles today. Kent won the 200-yard IM.
And the butterfly as well.
And the 100 butterfly, yep.
This is going to be fast.
Good start. And coming down to the end of the first 25 yards, it looks like Homestead with the lead in 4. Carroll's on their outside in 5. Carroll with the
turn by
oh my! DeWitt with a big time turn, and Carroll has the lead at the end of the first leg. A race, as Jim mentioned, Carroll must have. But back comes Homestead in 4. Swimming this leg, Carson Bull for Carroll. Scott Hodson for Homestead. They are neck and neck coming down to the halfway point. Oh, it's too close to call right now.
That's as close to tie as possible.
Third leg being swum by Parker Bull for Carroll. Riley Anderson for Homestead.
It's the seniors anchoring it for Carroll. Parker Bull and Jackson Kent. Got the experience.
Homestead's got the lead. Big turn there for Anderson. Anderson gives Homestead the lead.
That was a great swim by Riley Anderson. A half second better than Parker. But Jackson Kent has made it up in the first 25.
Oh, man, he's slicing through that water. Trying to hold on is Noah Dalton for Homestead, but here comes Jackson Kent. They're neck and neck at the wall. Kent touches him. Oh, my. Check that time. A huge win for Carroll, a win they needed desperately.
Jackson Kent swam a 20.67, second 53 to take the win away from Homestead.
By 17 hundredths of a second.
They just crushed the sectional record. The previous record of 126.11, they swam a 124.93.
And Homestead finished second, 125.1.
Both easily underneath the state cut.
Snyder in third.
10 seconds back. Those two were 10 seconds ahead of the field.
Yeah. Snyder's time was 1:35.66.
I tell you what, keep an eye on those two. Those two are going to be medaling relays next week at the state meet. Potentially a state champion from one of those two schools.
Fourth place went to Concordia in lane 6. Fifth place in lane 2 went to Dwenger. Rounded out by Northrop, Wayne, and Lours. Well, we were expecting close races today, and boy, we got one there. In that 200-yard freestyle relay, Carroll winning it by 0.17 of a second over Homestead as we have the cool-down period here. Next event will be the 100 backstroke.
Carroll did gain the 6 points they desperately needed there. Now trail by 20, 394 to 374. Backstroke's going to be big. Look for Jacob Steele from Snyder to take the win. And then Homestead and Carroll going to be racing for 2 through 6.
All right, we'll have the awards now for the 200-yard freestyle relay. We'll have the awards for the 200-yard freestyle relay before we get to the 100 backstroke as we approach 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Both Carroll and Homestead clipped the sectional record by over 1 second.
Isn't that something?
That is an eternity in a 200-yard freestyle.
I couldn't believe the amount of wake that Jackson Kent was throwing up there. I mean, he looked like one of those freighters cutting through the water.
That was a kid that said, I'm not going to get beat. And you throw up a 20.7 coming from behind in a relay like that. You deserve the blue ribbon.
In third place, Snyder.
Snyder in third place.
In second place with a state qualifying time of 1:25.1, Homestead.
Boy, you set a sectional record and you finish in second. That's something. Kind of tough to.
That right there finishes Jackson Kent's sectional career here. And I got to hand it to the young man. The young man is a sectional record holder in the 200-yard medley relay, the 200-yard IM, the 100-yard freestyle, the 500-yard freestyle, the 200-yard freestyle relay, and the 400-yard freestyle relay. I think it's safe to say that Jackson Kent is the best swimmer to ever participate in the Fort Wayne sectional.
I can't help but notice how red his chest is right now.
I think he beat himself to oblivion celebrating the win.
Pictures down here to our left for the winning relay team from Carroll as we get ready now for the next event, the 100 backstroke. Consolation final. Connor Lochner from Canterbury in 1. Cole Drosty from Concordia in 2. Paul Helmich in lane 3 from Canterbury. Bryce Hunt from Northrop is in 4. Mason Pickett from Concordia is in 5. Lane 6, Ben Fink from Bishop Lours. Lane 7, Adam Bergman from Northrop. And in lane 8 is Logan Voles from Concordia. 100-yard backstroke, 4 lengths of the pool. And after the first leg in lane 5, it looks like it's Mason Pickett showing the way so far. It is Mason Pickett with the lead in lane 5. Lane 3, Paul Helmich in second place. Halfway home, Pickett with the lead. Helmich second. Bryce Hunt from Northrop in lane 4 is in third. He's being challenged for that spot in lane 6 by Ben Fink from Bishop Lours. One more length to go here following this turn. And it's Mason Pickett showing the way in lane 5. He's got a rather sizable lead, and he'll win this race. Second place will go to Bryce Hunt from Northrop in lane 4. Third place at the wall. There's the touch by Paul Helmich from Canterbury. Fink will finish in 4th. Vols will finish in 5th.
This should be a good race between lane 4 and 5, Jacob Steele and Noah Yarian. Watch the distance that Jacob gets with his underwaters off the start.
Pickett's time, 102.65. Hunt's time, 104.38. Helmich's time, 105.86. All right, championship final now for the 100 backstroke. Logan Cronk from Carroll in 1. His teammate, Brian Lower, is in 2nd. Trey Cooley from Homestead in 3rd. Jacob Steele from Snyder in 4th. Noah Urian from Carroll is in lane 5. Chase Chastain from Homestead in 6th. His teammate, Brandon Wiggins, in lane 7. Jonathan Gill from Bishop Lours in lane 8. Steele with the fast seed time of 56.06. That's a state qualifying time. And he's got the record for this event, 49.97, set last year. And Shores will get into the water.
Backstroke's 1 under the water. Watch Jacob on his start.
And away they go. And who pops up first? Looks like in lane 5 it was Noah Urian popping up first. There's the turn, 1 down, 3 to go. And it's neck and neck right now between Steele and Urian. As we hit the halfway mark, Steele nudges ahead. An important turn there, and it's Steele in first as they come back from underwater. Urian in 2nd, but he's right there. 25 yards to go. And it's Steele and Urian. Steele edging out now. And Steele will win this race. Urian will get 2nd. And holding on for 3rd here in lane 3 is Trey Cooley.
He broke his record.
Chase Chastain from Homestead in lane 6 was 4th. And Steele gets another record.
49.18. Young man, that is hauling.
And Jacob Steele is a man of steel in this event here at the Fort Wayne Sectionals. He takes first, 49.18, as Jim mentioned. New sectional record. Urian's time, 50.15. Third place going to Cooley, 51.24. Trey Cooley from Homestead. Chastain, his teammate, gets 4th with a time of 52.77. Wiggins 5th, 57.27. So we got 2 events to go. The 100 breaststroke and the 400 freestyle relay. And we'll have a cool down here, and then we'll have the award presentations for the 100 backstroke. Parkview Sports Medicine, a proud supporter of Fort Wayne area athletics and its athletes. Parkview Sports Medicine can provide the training, treatment, and education you need to advance your sports game. Have questions about injury prevention, sports nutrition, and more? We've got you covered. That's Parkview Sports Medicine at parkview.com. Sports Center Incorporated is Fort Wayne's premier sporting goods dealer, offering equipment rental, embroidery, and screen printing. Sports Center is ready and willing to help you place orders and or answer any questions concerning pricing. Sports Center Incorporated is at 5511 Coventry Lane, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46804. And we're ready now for the awards for the 100 backstroke. Eventually, as soon as they get out of the pool. Gotta wait till they get out of the pool there before they get their awards.
Homestead, by virtue of their 3rd, 4th, and 5th place finish, scored 45 points that event. Carroll, with their 2nd, 6th, and 7th place finish, scored 42. So Homestead picked up 3 more points and now leads 439 to 416. Carroll basically needs to go 1, 2, 3 like they're seated in this breaststroke to tighten that margin to make it to where the 400 free relay will decide the sectional.
All right, the top 3 qualify for state. Good to see there.
Sectional champion with a new sectional record of 49.18 from Snyder Jacob Steele.
So Jacob Steele with another big performance here. And he's a senior, so nice way to go out. Okay, 100 backstroke. I'm sorry, 100 breaststroke. 100 breaststroke coming up. Sectional record 56.21. State qualifying record 58.1. We'll give you the competitors here in the consolation final in a moment. In lane 1, Jacob Burton from Snyder. Lane 2, Roman Dickel from Dwenger. Lane 3, Nate Prendergast from Lures. Lane 4, Zachary Hyde from Snyder. Lane 5, Jared Armstrong from Concordia. Lane 6, Victor Banks from Northrop. Lane 7, Riley White. He's from Canterbury. And in lane 8, Keith Suttle from Northrop. As we come to the halfway point, Zachary Hyde from Snyder is your leader. Tight battle for second. Looks like second right now belongs to Armstrong in lane 5. But they're all chasing Zachary Hyde from Snyder. Hyde with a nice lead entering the last 25 yards. This is the consolation final for the 100 breaststroke. The last individual event of the sectional meet. We'll have the 400-yard freestyle relay afterwards. And here comes Zachary Hyde. Hyde into the wall to take first during the consolation final. Holding out for second is Jared Armstrong in lane 5. And getting third place in lane 6 will be Victor Banks from Northrop. Pendergrass was 4th. Dickel was 5th. So the consolation final finishes up. Hyde time 105.53. Armstrong with a 108.57. Banks a 109.89. All right, in the championship final, we got You're On Song from Homestead in 1. Michael Nichter from Homestead in 2. Jordan Hunicky from Carroll in 3. Tristan DeWitt from Carroll in 4. Parker Bull from Carroll in 5. Jacob Leffers, Homestead is in 6. Andrew Gill from Lures is in 7. And Andre Hawley from Dwenger is in 8.
Sectional record 56.21 set last year by Carroll's Will Shrensky. State cuts 58.1. I look for all 3 Carroll swimmers to hit that mark.
All 3 of them in the middle portion of the lane, 3, 4, and 5. And away they go. 100-yard breaststroke, 4 lengths to the pool. Very close at the start of this race. Very close. Looks like in lane 5, it was Parker Bull touching first. And Bull looks to have the lead. And it's the Carroll swimmers, 1, 2, 3. This is what they needed. As Jim mentioned, it's Carroll, 1, 2, 3. This could be a huge points race for the Chargers. Tight battle for first between teammates Jordan Kunicki and Parker Bull. 25 yards to go. It's anybody's race, but it's definitely going to be Carroll 1, 2, 3 here. Which one of the Chargers will finish it first? It looks like Bull, but a late charge in 4 by DeWitt. Bull hangs down for the win. DeWitt second, Kunicki third, Leffers 4th and 6th. Nichter 5th in lane 2. But Jim, you said Carroll needed a 1, 2, 3, and they got it.
They did get the top 3. Jordan did not get the state cut, but he's close enough to where he's probably going to be sitting around hoping for the call-up.
Another sectional record. Parker Bull, 57.39. His teammate DeWitt also broke the sectional record, 57.56. Kunicki a 58.61. And let's see, Leffers in fourth place, 101.9, or yeah, that's a 9, 101.95. And Nichter in lane 2 took fifth, 103.32. All right, we got one event to go, and that 1-2-3 finish for Carroll tightened things up in the final standings.
481, 469 Homestead. That 12-point gap basically means that as long as Homestead does not get disqualified in the 400 freestyle relay, they are going to win the sectional. 12 points is too much to make up.
Yep.
You would need them to finish down in like 7th place and Carroll win the event in order to pull that off. So watch for safe starts for Homestead. Yes, they want to go to state. Yes, they want to have a good time, but they cannot afford somebody to go off early and cost the team the sectional.
I'm sure they're being reminded of that over there by their coaching staff. Again, our point total is unofficial. Yes, we have the awards now for the 100 breaststroke. Smile for Parker. I've been waiting to say this all day. Parker wins, and that's no bull. Thank you. I'm here all week. Or maybe for a few more minutes, because this is the last event coming up.
Yeah, that 12-point deficit that Carroll faces, Carroll needs to win the event, have Homestead finish 5th. That would tie the sectional. Homestead needs to finish 6th to give Carroll the win. There's no way Homestead finishes any worse than 2nd.
Well, we'll have the consolation final first for the 400 freestyle relay. Just 2 teams. In lane 4 will be Southside, and in lane 5 will be Canterbury. So it's basically a match race here. A little bit of pride. And away they go. 400-yard freestyle relay, 8 lengths of the pool. And everybody swims 100 yards.
Some of these guys, this is the last swim of their high school career. As any of us that have played high school athletics know, that is a bittersweet moment. But you know what? Go out with your best.
400-yard freestyle relay. So it's 16 lengths. Again, everybody swims 4 lengths or 100 yards. And as we come down to the end here, let's again thank our meet director and natatorium director Liz Kaywood and her staff for all their help here over the last few days. This is the first time I think we've done the swimming sectionals here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium on SummitCitySports.com. We've gotten tremendous cooperation from everybody here. So we'd like to thank again Liz Kaywood and her staff. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Parkview Sports Medicine. Also like to thank Sports Center Incorporated. And this afternoon's broadcast being brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, we've got Homestead with a nearly insurmountable lead of 12 points entering this final event, the 400-yard freestyle relay. And as Jim mentioned, all basically Homestead has to do is prevent themselves from getting disqualified, and they'll win a second straight sectional title. But, you know, stranger things have happened.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, the dominance of Carroll and Homestead in this event is pointed out in the scoreboard. Homestead 481, Carroll 469. The next close third place is Snyder at 262. There is a 207-point gap between second and third, and it's only going to get wider as these two programs continue to be some of the pride of Indiana. Hats off to Justin Max and John Gibson for what they do with their swim teams.
Again, from here, those who qualify for the state finals move on to the IUPOI Natatorium in Indianapolis. And that's a 50-yard pool, but they'll cut it down to 25 yards. This is also a 50-yard pool, but they have the, I guess we'll call it the boardwalk there, to cut it down to 25 yards. As we're, again, finishing up this consolation final for the 400 freestyle relay. And it's Southside with the lead over Canterbury here. Oh, I'm sorry. Canterbury's got the kind of lost track of things there a little bit. And that should be the start of the final leg. Again, it's 16 lengths. Everybody swims 4 lengths or 100 yards. We want to mention, before we get away, I want to mention what they do here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium as far as safety is concerned. They take every precaution possible. Even during the sectional swim meet, we have lifeguards who are standing by. They're on duty. They have a program gym called Poseidon, which is an automatic alarm system in case somebody is under the water motionless. After a certain amount of time, I believe it's 10 seconds, an alarm sounds and safety measures are then taken. They put the utmost number one priority here is safety here at this Helen P. Brown Natatorium. And it's quite an impressive facility. If you've never been here in person, you got to check it out sometime. We're getting the contestants for this last relay race for Homestead and Carroll. For Homestead, their first leg is going to be swum by Julian Norman. He'll be followed by Scott Hodson, Bryce Warner, and Noah Dalton. And for Carroll, Carson Bull will start things off. He'll be followed by Timothy Cater, Noah Urian, and Jack McCurdy will swim the anchor. As this consolation final comes to a conclusion here.
Sectional record is 3:07.23 set by Carroll last year. That relay went on to win the state title, so that is an extremely fast time. 3:13.02 will get you into the state meet next week.
Okay, so Canterbury won that consolation race in the 400 freestyle relay over at Southside. Bishop Dwenger is in lane 1, Lours is in lane 2, Snyder is in 3, Carroll's in 4, Homestead in 5, Concordia is in 6, Northrop is in 7, and Northside is in lane 8. Last race of the sectionals here, final event. And again, unless a disaster takes place here for Homestead, they'll win their second straight sectional title, and we'll stick around for the trophy presentation afterwards. That's always fun to watch.
We are Carroll! We are Carroll!
The Carroll.
Even though Homestead knows they need a safe start, it won't be terrible. Those guys are competitors. They want to win this race. They've been racing these Carroll guys for years. They want to win the sectional. So it'll be close starts, but it won't be crazy close starts like you see in some relays.
Let's recap the winners here. Carroll won the 200 medley relay. Julian Norman won the 200 freestyle. Jackson Kent won the 200-yard IM. Riley Anderson from Homestead won the 50 freestyle. The diving was won by Jared Miller of Homestead. Winner of the 100 butterfly was Jackson Kent from Carroll. Noah Dalton from Homestead won the 100 freestyle. Julia Norman from Homestead won the 500 freestyle. 200 freestyle relay was won by Carroll in a very close race. The 100 backstroke won by Jacob Steele from Snyder. And it was Parker Bull from Carroll leading the Chargers in a 1-2-3 finish in the 100 breaststroke.
Looks like we might have a little bit of a change here for Carroll. Looks like Jack McCurdy will be going third and Noah Yarian will be the anchor. No change in swimmers, just a change in position.
Okay. Getting ready for the final race of the afternoon. Thanks for being with us today here on SummitCitySports.com. Hope you enjoyed our coverage. We've been streaming live throughout the afternoon here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium. The Carroll Rooters still very enthusiastic here to our left in their robbers outfits, the theme of the day. We've had the Snyder Rooters here to our right. The Homestead contingent is further down to our right. Introductions are being made right now, and we'll get this race underway here shortly. The 400-yard freestyle relay. Sectional record 307.23 set last year. The state qualifying mark is 313.02. And there's the whistle. Another good start. 16 lengths. Everyone swims 100 yards. The race expected to be in the middle of the pool. Carroll in 4, Homestead in 5. And it's tight after the first turn. It looks like a slight lead for Homestead as they come down to the end of the second length. 2 down, 14 to go. And now it looks like Carroll moves ahead here. That's Carson Bull for Carroll in lane 4. Julia Norman from Homestead in 5. Still very tight. 3 down, 13 to go. And it looks like Norman took the lead on that turn. He does have the lead. And Norman will give the lead to Scott Hodson swimming the second leg. Timothy Cater swimming the second leg for Carroll. And it's Homestead trying to put an exclamation mark on a sectional championship, which would be their second straight. Oh my, look at the lead that Hodson is opening up here. Strong swim for Scott Hodson. Lane 5 for Homestead. Tim Cater for Carroll's in second. And Hodson will give his team a rather sizable lead for leg number 3. It'll be Bryce Warner for the Spartans and Jack McCurdy for the Chargers.
Not surprising, Homestead's out to a big lead. In fact, it's the freestyle stroke that has gotten Homestead this sectional championship. They outscored Carroll by 5 points in the 200 free, 9 points in the 50 free, 13 points in the 100 free, 5 points in the 500 free. You can say that the freestyle stroke and the freestyle swimmers from Homestead carried them to a victory in this sectional.
McCurdy trying to make up ground, but Warner maintains a rather sizable lead. He's got 25 yards to go. The anchors will be Noah Dalton for Homestead, Noah Urian for Carroll, and Homestead will have a big lead for the final leg. And it's going to be Noah Dalton swimming that final leg. And oh, look out here, out in 4. Here comes Urian trying to cut the margin. Dalton still leads, looks like by about 5 yards or so. 2 lengths to go following this turn. Noah Dalton with a big lead. There's the turn now for the Carroll swimmer, Urian. After this turn, 25 yards to go. And Homestead will win a second straight sectional title. Noah Dalton, 10 yards to go. Homestead wins the race. Homestead wins the sectionals for a second straight year. Carroll finishes second. And third place in lane 3 goes to Fort Wayne Snyder. Looks like lane 8, north side, got up for 4th. Or check that. That's Concordia in lane 6, finishing in 4th place. And the winning time for Homestead, 3:11.02. And not a meet record, or not a sectional record. Carroll's time for second, 3:15.49. Third place, Snyder, their time, 3:19.05. And see, 4th place in lane 6, Concordia, their time, 3:31.47. 5th place over there in lane 2, that was Lours, with a time of 3:45.42. So we'll have the presentations here for the winners here in this last race, as we'll have a cool down period, and then we'll have the presentation for the last race, and then the sectional trophy presentation, which will go to the Homestead Spartans. Carroll will finish second. Snyder finishes third. What you got for the numbers there, Jim?
521 to 503. Homestead over Carroll. Snyder in third place at 294.
Well, as you take a look, Jim, as you mentioned a few moments ago during that 400-yard freestyle relay, it was the freestyle events that were the big difference today in the sectional championship for the Homestead Spartans.
Homestead extremely strong in the freestyle events in this meet. Carroll extremely strong in the non-freestyle events. When you see Jackson Kent winning the IM and the fly, and you see Parker Bull winning the breaststroke, Jacob Steele from the backstroke. But when it's all said and done, with as much freestyle as swam, with as much freestyle in the relays, being the dominant freestyle team can win you a swim meet.
All right, we'll have the awards now for the final event, the 400-yard freestyle relay, and then we'll have the trophy presentation. Again, by our numbers, Homestead winning with 521 points, Carroll second with 503, followed by Snyder with 294.
You're going to see the same two teams here next year battling for a sectional title. Carroll only loses, I say only, but Jackson Kent and Parker Bull, that's a couple big losses and some big fins to fill. However, Homestead loses a little bit more with Chase Chastain, Noah Dalton, Wes Hembry, Noah Marble, the diver, Jared Millard, the diver, all graduating. So Homestead's got a lot of spots to fill, but it's a tradition-rich program, and I'm sure they got guys down there eager to put in the work to replace these guys. And again, Carroll and Homestead challenge for a 2018 sectional title.
Okay, the award going on right now for the 400-yard freestyle relay.
In third place, Snyder.
It's amazing how they can fit 4 guys to that platform. Really, it's of course they're skinny enough.
In second place, Carroll.
It's the wide shoulders that cause the problem, because those wide shoulders lead to a waist that is ridiculously thin. I don't know how these guys buy pants.
Yeah, can I get that last guy up there? There you go.
Sectionals is great. It's exciting for these guys, but the top swimmers in this are really shooting for next week. You've got some people from this sectional that have a legitimate shot at state titles next week.
Definitely. Fort Wayne doesn't have to take a back seat to anybody in the state when it comes to high school swimming.
Not at all, and it's getting better. Coach of the Year award given.
All right. And that was, I couldn't quite hear the announcement there.
I think they said Dave Thomas of Concordia. I don't see the award being presented, but it's always an honor to receive that. You're voted on by your peers. So anytime you can win something that's peer voted is huge.
Okay, well, I guess that's going to do it for our coverage here today at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium. Don't drop your phone, Jim.
There will be a sectional trophy presentation.
Yes, we got a sectional trophy here momentarily. So all right, let's stick around for that. Don't run away yet there, fellas. Again, I'd like to thank our cameraman, Nick Cox, and our director, Balin Height. They've been here since early this morning. All right, here's the final team scores.
11th place, Southside with 27. 10th place, Wade with 40. 9th place, Canterbury with 54. 8th place, Northside with 67. 7th place, Bishop Delander with 127. 6th place, Northrop, 134. 5th place, Bishop Lures, 164. 4th place, Concordia, 247. 3rd place, Snyder, 294. 2nd place, Carroll, 503. And congratulations to the 2017 Boys Sectional Champion, Homestead High School.
There's the trophy. There's the trophy being awarded to the Homestead Spartans. And the celebration will be getting underway here shortly, as it's going to be everybody into the pool, including the coaches here shortly. Congratulations to the Homestead Spartans. Their coach, Justin Max, dive coach, Jill Eckwright, assistant coaches, Julie Anderson and Matt Ronachak. Job well done, gentlemen. Second straight year. The Homestead Spartans take home the sectional championship trophy. Well, Jim, it's been fun here this afternoon. Jim Kressel helping us out with our coverage. And let's see, here we go. Everybody into the pool. Here's chlorine in your eye. And, Coach Anderson shied away there. Yeah, there goes everybody into the water now. Hold up that sectional trophy. That's down here in the deep end just about. Now, that takes some doing. Here goes Coach Anderson. Oh! Wow! That was about a 6.5.
Congratulations to the Homestead Spartans. Great fight put up by the Carroll Chargers. Jacob Steele, best of luck in your challenge for a 100-yard backstroke title next week. Keep an eye on these kids, folks. Going to be a lot of good things happening next weekend in IUPUI. Let's bring home some hardware to the Summit City.
All right, again, thanks for all your help there, Jim. Appreciate it today. Hopefully we can make this an annual affair on SummitCitySports.com, or coverage of the swimming and diving sectionals. Well, that's the story today here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium at Southside High School. Hope you enjoyed our coverage. Again, Homestead wins the sectional title for a second straight year in boys swimming. For our cameraman, Nick Cox, our director, Balin Height, and my broadcast partner, Jim Kressel, I'm Jim Measles saying thanks for watching and good afternoon, everybody.